Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, tonight I'm just kind of hanging out at the shop. I am working on the emergency tote that is going to be carried in the chase vehicle out in Utah for the Great American Monkey 1000. The organizers of the event have asked us to get a very specific tote so that they all match and they can stack nicely and so forth in their truck. And so I picked up the HDX brand from Home Depot, and they asked us to use the 17-gallon tote. So that's what I've got. I've laid out some items that I want to be able to hopefully put in here. So now I guess we need to see if they actually do fit, and if they don't, adjustments that we're going to have to make. It's September 16th, Tuesday. I need to be in Utah on September 27th, 2025. So we're getting down to crunch time. I need to finalize some of these things. So I've got a brand new engine that later in this video we're going to fire it up for the very first time. I actually want to hear it run before I take it to Utah. So I've got that. I've got related items for the engine to get it to run, carburetor, the intake and so forth, and this is some electrical. Got a spare tire and rims and the hardware for the rims, a tube, and a swing arm. Most of the guys on my team are using some kind of, Kept Speed or some kind of brand of aluminum swing arm, and we've all seen it online. I don't care what brand it is, they all have a tendency to crack sometimes. So just in case something were to happen, I want to have this is just a standard Honda CT70 swing arm. Excuse me, have it in the tote, just in case, somebody needs it along the way. The tire, I would have loved to put it on the rim, but I don't think it's going to fit in there that way. So I have taken and just folded the tire and zip tied it, and hopefully that'll get me enough room. So I don't really have a plan here. The good thing about this is that all 4 or 5 of us on our team, regardless of what size tire we're running, I'm running the 4x10s. I know some guys are running 12-inch tires. They still use the same basic hub. So that's why I've got the rims in here also, in case one of the guys with a 12-inch tire, something catastrophic happens, we can put this together and it should bolt to their hub that's already on their bike. So that's kind of the plan. You know what? I think we're going to have all kinds of room in here, to be quite honest. Oh yeah, that's going to fit pretty nicely. I am going to take the Kickstarter. I think that all of our bikes have the exact same spline shaft size for the Kickstarter on our bikes, but I'm not 100% sure. I know the shifters will fit. So, my thought originally was we just pull the Kickstarter and the shifter off of whose ever engine goes down and put it on this. But just in case, this doesn't really weigh that much, and it's not like we're carrying it with us. It's going to be in the chase vehicle. I'm going to throw that Kickstarter in there just in case. I'm not sure on those YX 140s if they have a different size spline shaft. Oh my gosh, we got way more room than what I anticipated. Okay, that might need to go down. It actually closes. It's got a little bit of a bump right there. I might move some stuff around. I might put the engine down, then put the swing arm in. Maybe that's what I'll do, but plenty of room. I know that Patrick down at Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue, he wants to bring a spare throttle, a Nibbi throttle that he uses on his bikes, but going to have plenty of room. We've got all kinds of little edge spacing to put things in, so it shouldn't be a problem. I think what I want to do now is I really want to get this engine up and running. I want to make sure it's going to run. I want to haul all the way to Utah and then find out the thing doesn't run. It's brand new, straight out of the box. So I think I'm gonna get set up with a stand, and let's see if that thing will fire up. The organizers of this event are laid down some pretty strict rules about what can go in the tub and what can't. They don't want any kind of fuel or oil or anything like that. And I get that. They're putting it inside a truck, you know, and you got 11 totes, 11 different teams. You don't want a bunch of fuel. And you can't put any kind of spare fuel or anything like that. So because of that, I'm not even going to use the carburetor that I have in here. I don't even want to have fuel in the bowl or anything, so I'm not going to use that carb. I've got another used Nibbi here that I use for when I'm testing things and working on stuff. I'm going to bolt it on there so that we don't get anything in the chase truck. I don't want to take my tote and it be smelling of fuel. You can't put, I didn't grab very good bolts. They're flanged and they're too wide. You can't put any like clothing or camping, any of that type of gear in your tote either. It's supposed to be just for tools and parts that you might need in the case of an extreme breakdown. All right, let's see if we can get that zipped on there. I'm not cross-threading it. It's the flanged bolt I'm using is rubbing up against the intake. I can barely get the... All right, so there we go. I'm not going to put a throttle on it. We're not going to try and rev it up. I just want to hear it run. I am going to take off the crankcase little thing there. Little plug. All right, this is one of those engines that has 2 wiring harnesses. This one over here with all the different like pinks and green and reds and all, that's just for gear indication. We won't really care about that one. This is the one we need to run. So in here, I have a bag of electrical, which is just the kit off of Amazon that I buy. I want to say it's like $17. Now, I did add this in there myself, and it is a pigtail that will go from this plug that's on this engine to the bullet style terminal, which I think this wiring harness uses, and I think most of us might be using that type of harness. Let's see. So this is the little run-only harness. And let's see, yeah, these are the 3 wires I need. I need a, oh no, those are both, I should have checked. Those are both females. Daggone it. Oh, and those are males, so they're all the same. Bummer. I need to swap all the ends on this from opposite of what they are, because they are the same thing that is on this, and I did not realize that. So I'm going to do that real quick and change the bullet connectors on those. All right, so I got the ends swapped on these. So let's try this again here. All right, so there's that. Now, we need, this should be the coil maybe. Okay, there's a spark plug. There is a spark plug. Put that on there. And then there should be a black and gold and a green. That's this one right here. Okay, is this the CDI? It is. There's multiple white plugs on this, but it will only fit one of them. You can't put it in the wrong spot. Make sure all the little, don't force it. Make sure they all slide in the right spot. I've got one that doesn't want to play nice. Come on, what's going on here? They all look as straight as can be. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, let's grab another CDI. Like, quit messing with that one. Let's see if it's a CDI or if it's this plug. It might be the plug in this harness. These are things this is why you test this stuff. All right, I'm just gonna force it. So there I did force it and it went. Let's go back to the original one. Maybe I just was being too nice to it. There it goes. All right, there we go. All right, so these other plugs are for kill switches, which we're not too worried about right now. Do not have to ground the body of the coil because it's 2-wire and the green wire is the ground wire. So this is only a mounting to mount the coil. So it doesn't need to be grounded. Let's see. Don't need any of that. We're all plugged in. We need fuel. So I'm just gonna clamp a hanger there. Oh, this thing's leaking. Is it going? All right, there we go. All right. So let's turn the idle up some. Oh yeah, just leak all over the place. Let's see if our battery has enough giddy up to get it to go. Let's see, you know what? I will go ahead and plug in a kill button just so that we can kill it. The kit comes with a little kill button and it just plugs in right there. Ah! Well, she sputtered. This drill just doesn't have the snot to it anymore to do it. Ah, come on. That's all I really wanted to know. I just wanted to make sure that it would fire up. So I'm good to go there. I'm gonna unhook this drippy fuel, pour that out, and then I'm gonna bring you guys back and I'm gonna show you some of the things I'm gonna do to this engine just to kind of get it ready for out there, because there's a lot of these little clips and these things I don't want on here and in the way. I need to change the sprocket now so I don't have to do it out there and so forth. So, but first I gotta get rid of this fuel. Well, as we let the smoke clear in here, as I mentioned, I'm going to take off some of these areas that have these clips. Something that we don't catch our daggone hand on if we do have to install this engine. And I just noticed the plug, the little black piece came off of I'll get that later. So I like to, on basically all my builds, I remove all these little things that are on there. There is one on this other side here that I do keep. I use it, for the drain tube for the carburetor. So I do keep that one in there. But the rest of these, I take them out. So, a little bit more information about the Monkey 1000. If you guys are interested, they posted a, what's going on here? They posted a list of all the people who are participating. Some people are not driving, they're flying out to Utah, so they're having their bikes hauled. Most of them from the Michigan area. I think all of them from the Michigan area, maybe. From Michigan, or hauling them out to Utah. And but anyway, so they posted a list of all the participants and their contact information, and it was so that if you weren't going to be hauling your bike out and you needed to connect with someone that maybe could haul your bike for you because you were flying, they wanted they wanted you to have that information, have everybody else's contact information. Well, I got looking at the list, and there are 11 teams. We're divided. There's 49 of us that are participating. We're divided up into 11 teams, and teams ranging anywhere from 2 people to 8 or 9, 7 or 8, something like that. I didn't count how many were on the largest team. But the thing I found interesting is that our team is the only team that every participant is from a different state. We have Indiana, Georgia, Alabama, Minnesota, and Nevada. I'm taking off the counter sprocket here because this thing came with a 428 chain 14 tooth, which is not going to work for us. We're running 420 chains, and so I'm going with a 16 T. So yeah, like I said, so we're the only team that has, everybody is from a different state. Every other team at least has 2 people from the same state. Now, the Adventuremen's Guild, the people who organize this thing, they're based out of Michigan. They have a couple chapters up there, and then they have a chapter in Minnesota. So, of the 49 competitors, 26 of them are from Michigan, 7 of them are from Minnesota. There are 3 guys from Alaska, 2 from Utah, 2 from Washington, 2 from California, and then Colorado, Texas, Indiana, Alabama, Georgia, Nevada, and Illinois all have 1 person that is participating. So more than half the group is from Michigan, which makes sense since that's where the whole thing was kind of based out of, organized out of. So like I said, we're the only team that doesn't have repeat. There are 4 teams that are all Michigan. Everybody on that team is from Michigan. And then there is a team that is all Alaska, which is kind of cool. So the other thing that I'm not 100% sure, this is total guess, and I'm going to wipe the sweat off of my brow because it is smoking hot in here today. This is purely a guess on my part, but just kind of looking at some of the profiles of some of the other guys who are going. I think we're the oldest team, with an average age of 61 and a half. I find it hard to believe if one of the other teams averages, an age older than we do. And we may have the oldest participant who will be 68. He has his 68th birthday during the 7 days of the event. He hasn't told us what day it is, but I do know that he turns 68. We have a 65. I'm 60, and then we have someone in their 50s. But yeah, 61 and a half. So we may very well be the oldest team participating. So say a prayer for us, because us old guys out there, we may get beat to death. All right, that's pretty much what I wanted to accomplish tonight, was just get this stuff in this tub and then make sure this thing was going to pop off. And I didn't want to take a dud of an engine all the way to Utah. So I think I'm ready to go. So I'm going to clean up this mess, put this stuff in here. Guys, I sure appreciate you following along. I know all my videos got something to do with the Great American Monkey 1000, but I'm a week and a half away here from heading out to Utah, and then once I get there, hopefully we'll be able to film a whole lot of great content on that. If you haven't seen it, jump over to Patrick Wells' channel, Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue. He posted a video yesterday of his bike is all done, and he took it for a rip, and man, is it nice. He built a beautiful bike, and it absolutely rips. I'll be playing catch up all day, because I've got my bike geared to go 45 tops, and he's running 55 in third gear, 60 tops or something. So he'll hit the finish line and be eating dinner, and I'm still out there on the trail somewhere. But no, just joking. We're going to ride as a group. We're going out to have fun. But go watch his video. He got a new one of those 360 cameras. Really cool. So go check that out, and you'll get a good glimpse of his bike. But anyway, all right, guys. See you on the next video.